Very grateful to welcome to the show Tom O'Neill from cv.co.nz. Tom, kia ora, good morning. Thank you so much for your time today.
Morning, my friend. Great to be back.
Something which I must confess to, and this perhaps comes as no surprise to regular listeners to my show. A few weeks back, I knew very little about LinkedIn. I knew I had a LinkedIn profile. I knew I hadn't looked at it in ages. I didn't really know what it was for. But thanks to your patience and wisdom, I now know a lot more about LinkedIn than I used to. So firstly, thank you for your patience and understanding and for your generosity of spirit in informing the nation about such things. And I must say today
Pleasure,
is another example of something which I know very little about. So talking in particular about the importance of having keywords in your LinkedIn profile. I am confident, Tom, that 10 minutes from now I will know a lot more about the importance of keywords in my LinkedIn profile, but that's not a very high bar because I know zero at the moment. I'm not even sure what a keyword is, but there we go.
It's great to add value wherever I can, mate, so no problems.
So, okay, this is a clean slate then. What on earth are keywords, Tom? So let's start there.
Yeah, great. So a keyword is something that a recruiter, an employer is seeking in a job advertisement.
Yep.
So what's really, really important is to make sure your CV, of course, your LinkedIn profile, mirrors the keywords the employer is after.
Yep.
There's a thing called applicant tracking software. What that software does, and this is with CVs, is gets the CV, gets all the data from it, strips it all out, gets rid of all the formatting, throws it into machine-readable code, and then sniffs through for keywords that have been preset by the recruiter, by the employer. And that way it gives you a rating for the HR person or the recruiter. And then, of course, they're going to start at, 92% match and work their way down. And when they get sort of 5 or 6 or 7 people they want to interview, they're going to stop. It doesn't matter if there's far more better candidates further down. The keywords have been used to determine the suitability.
That's basically recruitment by robot, which is a lot of how things are doing, using software to sort out the men from the boys, the wheat from the chaff, and all of those similar type of metaphors. Look, I understand how that works with a CV, but surely for LinkedIn, our LinkedIn profile isn't specific to a specific job we're applying for. They're more general descriptions about who we are and what our experience and skills are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a section in LinkedIn called skills.
Okay.
And what you do there, you can have, 50 odd skills. Used to be limited to 50, but recently we found we can get past that. Just like keep going. So like, woohoo. But again, what will happen is as a recruiter, I'm going to put an ad in on LinkedIn. I'm going to put, let's say it's for a customer services person in the automotive sector.
Yep.
So I'm going to customer services, automotive, communication skills, teamwork, whatever it is, whatever I think the keywords are. Now, if I, as a candidate, have filled my skill list with lots of great skills that are relevant to my industry, there's going to be a great crossover between the skills I self-identify with and the job as it's been put into LinkedIn or the machine online in terms of my suitability. And so LinkedIn has a job board, and many people don't actually realize that. LinkedIn is as big, I think, or not as big, but it's pretty big, up there with TradeMe and Seek in some respects.
Okay. Yep.
And so when a person puts a job in on LinkedIn, those keywords will then go against your keywords if you apply and show you a percentage hit. Now, again, this is how you make it work for you. You look at these sort of roles, what are the key things they're seeking, and make sure these are in your profile. Then you apply, and then from the recruiter's perspective, gee whiz, Andrew's got like a 97%, connection.
So essentially, you have a test deal, if you like. You go, okay, what would I look like from a LinkedIn robot's point of view? And then you restack the deck to make yourself look better. Am I getting the right angle on this one, Tom?
I wouldn't say to make you look better. Okay. I would actually say to bring out your truth.
Okay.
if you are an automotive professional with strong customer services skills, you should be seen
Yeah.
as that.
If you're not,
So it's
don't
not
lie about it. It's not going to get you that
oh
far.
yeah,
Yeah,
look,
exactly.
if you're useless at it, don't. But if you have got strong customer service skills or customer service skills, you have
Yeah.
got experience for, let's say, Repco or automotive parts company.
Yeah.
Well, that needs to be in there.
Just
So
wanted to
it's
get
not stacking the deck to swing this thing. It's just being authentic and real about what you can bring.
Just wanting to get the balance right between putting my best foot forward and slightly fudging some areas of accuracy here, because I want to be on the right side of this line, Tom.
Oh yeah.
Now, would you change what some of your keywords might be if you were going for a certain job? Would you perhaps, they're still true, but you might emphasize different keywords than you would have if you weren't applying for that job? Would we do that much in terms of preparing for the application?
Yes. So LinkedIn allows 50 odd keywords.
Yeah.
So really you can have like different streams effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Customer service in there, you can have sales, you can have office administration, so 50 skills covers a whole lot of areas. So don't necessarily worry about that. But just coming back to that point, what if I'm saying to one person I'm this and to another person I'm that?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that ethical?
Yep.
Well, at the end of the day, if you are those things, that's ethical. You're not just one thing, right? So let's say I want to hire a car, right? Go to a car hire firm.
Yep.
Now, I want to hire a car. Let's say I've got 2 small children, got my wife Sarah with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want a semi-compact car that's fuel efficient and safe for the kids, right?
Yeah.
So we go to the car place and they go, oh, this car. Oh, okay, great. Then another person turns up. They're a sales rep. They want something that's efficient, got a good bit of space, but not worried about having kids in the car or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that car also meets their needs. Now, is that car being inauthentic by saying, actually, I'm really good for a sales rep as well?
Yeah.
Of course it's not. It's dual use.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, hey, I love that. And honestly, Tom, what can you do if you're multi-talented, right? You just use all of your 50-plus skills to advantage. So, okay, as I mentioned, disclaimer at the beginning of this conversation, I'm not totally sure how this works. So when you're putting your skills in, when you're putting your keywords in, those are just all in together. They're not necessarily ranked according to, hey, this is my top keyword and these are the other ones. All of those will be scanned by the robot to say, well, hey, the skills we're looking for, they're on the list. So they make the muster, as it were.
Yeah. So basically, when you put them in, it says you've self-identified with that skill.
Yeah.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is where people can now upvote. They can't downvote, can only upvote your skills. So for someone like you, radio DJ, I'm going to upvote you because I think you're great at that, right?
Okay.
Now, if
Thanks.
you have 72 people, no problems, 72 people upvote, you actually, it's not just you saying it, you've got a whole bunch of people that actually believe you are that thing.
Okay,
and you can get your mouse on it and click on it and actually see who has authorized you or backed you as a great DJ. And so this is a really interesting point. If we want to then go further with our skill list, a really good way to do that is reach out to other family, friends on LinkedIn, anyone that, is a mate or, and reach out and just endorse them for stuff.
Yeah.
You'll go to Andrew, endorse him for communication skills, DJing, and communication skills.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, Andrew will then go, wow, that was really nice, because Andrew's going to get an email to say that he's been endorsed for these things.
Yeah.
So there's a high chance Andrew will now come back and endorse Tom for professional speaking, career coaching, CV tips.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again,
I'll upvote you if you will upvote me. This is kind of how it works, really. Well, and again, in integrity and in sincerity, not fudging the lines of truth here.
Just add to this. A politician a few years ago got in real trouble because there was a person, a white collar criminal, who ended up costing, a whole lot of people, fraud or something, and just all this stuff. Really terrible, terrible story. But anyway, they've been endorsed for a skill by a member of parliament. And so, it was like communication skills or ethics or something. I don't know.
Well, if he's a
But
con man,
imagine
then communication skills could be a win, but not the sort of
well, mate,
skills
yeah,
we're
well,
looking
that's true.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. But what had happened is obviously journalists went on there and had a look at all the endorsements and found that this politician had endorsed this now
Wow.
criminal.
Yeah.
And so that became another sub story. So we need to make sure that when we are endorsing someone, it is legitimately for that skill to tell other
Yeah.
people in the industry that in the working environment that yes, Sarah is great at vegetable gardening, Sarah is great at blogging,
Yeah.
not just doing it just to suck up or just do
Because
whatever.
she's your wife
So
and
we
she
have
told
to
you
have that
to.
integrity in it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not just doing it because your wife told you to, or because
Oh no, totally. My wife told me to. I'm afraid.
There's a contract you signed. I realised
Yeah,
your
that's
contractual obligation to put her needs first, etc. Hey, Tom, look, as predicted, I now know a lot more about keywords and upvoting and all of those sorts of things. Thank you so much for the work that you do. Appreciate your wisdom and experience. Of course, cv.co.nz for more information. Have a great week, my friend. Thanks for joining us.
God bless. Thank you very much, and have a lovely week to everyone.
Thanks for joining us on Rhema. Now, if you found value in today's content, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel with the subscribe button. This really helps us to continue to produce more quality content for you. And hey, if you'd like to stay updated and never miss any of our future videos, ring that notification bell as well. Don't forget to follow us on our other socials, which are in the description below. And until then, stay tuned.